Hello, you beautiful people. So, Constance is about to come out after over a year since her first introduction through a trailer, and now she's making her first appearance in the game via her drip marketing that was just released a few minutes ago, and I'm guessing most of you are excited about her kit or what she will do, right? Well, luckily for you, you've somehow managed to land on the perfect video to get all the info related to her and her kit. Today, I'm mainly going to discuss about the info that we have on Constance and her kit, while also talking about how the break meta is in a pretty bad state right now, and how she might just be the savior that the break units need. Honestly, when the Annihilation Gang trailer came out, Constance was easily the most popular unit of the entire group alongside the leader Duke Inferno, so it doesn't really surprise me that she's the first one to become playable out of the entire gang. What's surprising to me is how her kit is going to be like, as I'm sure that a lot of people won't have an idea of what she'll do when she does inevitably release as a 5-star unit. I will say though, this video will be a lot shorter than usual because we don't actually have that much info on Constance at the moment, partly because all the sources are keeping a low profile right now due to version 3.7 being a really important patch and security is quite high at the moment. By the way, random question, but how do you feel about her overall design and her drip marketing? Personally, I like her design to a decent amount, and I'm actually one of those people who have been waiting for her release since she first appeared in the trailer, and I totally believed that she would become playable one day. Also, if you participated in the giveaway that I hosted in one of my previous videos, well, here are the 5 winners for that giveaway, so congrats to all of you. I made a community post just now related to the giveaway as well, and if you want to claim your Express Pass, just go to that community post to drop your UID in the comments, and I'll make sure to gift you the pass within a few days. If you're planning to pull for any of the new characters though, you might want to check out Lubar because on this site you can save up to a total of 25% on all your purchases. To give an example, I'll buy this 3280 Nyrix Shard pack for $43, and this same pack costs me about $50 from the in-game shop. You can see that it's cheaper, right? For the top-up process, just enter your UID in this box and choose your respective server depending on your account. After waiting for a few minutes, I received my Jades with the double top-up bonus because it was my first purchase. If you use my link which is in the description or the pinned comment though, you can get an extra 10% off on top of all the other discounts. Anyways, let me just mention the usual boring disclaimer that this version of her, which I'm going to talk about in the video, is based on very early info, and we'll likely see a lot of changes in her proper V1 kit as it's not set in stone, so take all this info with a grain of salt. With that being said, let's begin without wasting any more of your time or energy. Starting off, Constance is going to be a fire-type unit following the path of Nihility, and you can basically consider her like a DLC for the break playstyle, just like how Hyacinth's was a DLC for the DOT playstyle. She will likely be an upgrade for all the break characters we have at the moment, namely Firefly, Boothill, and of course, the character that Hoyoverse forgot to give a rerun being Rappa. Based on what we know though, Constance will be especially designed for Firefly, and she'll buff her way more compared to the other 2 break characters. If you ask me, I'm obviously a little bit biased as I do have E2 Firefly, but this kind of makes sense because Rappa and Boothill benefited a lot more with Fugue's release, so it makes a little sense why Constance would be best for Firefly, right? Either way, I do hope that she's a nice upgrade for all 3 break units and her buff isn't just catered for Firefly, because all the break units really need a good support right now to bring this dead playstyle back into the meta. Going by what a source said, Constance would be replacing Ruan Mei in the current break team, and this already gives us a pretty good idea of what she does, as she will obviously have to be better than Ruan Mei and provide more value to the team. Alright, going by the current schedule and info, Constance will be the only new character releasing in version 3.8, and she will be featured in the first half of the patch, just like all the newly released characters. Now, if the ongoing schedule of Honkai Star Rail remains the same where a single patch lasts for 42 days, then her banner would drop on December 17th for the Asia servers and December 16th for the America ones, while also being the last character released during the 3.x cycle. Okay, coming back to her kit, Constance should function primarily as a buffer who provides break-specific buffs, like the one on the Battle Pass light cone that increases break damage taken by enemies. This might not seem like much at a first look, but trust me, it is actually one of the best buffs in the game solely because of how unique it is. Listen, generally the more you have of a buff, the less effective it is because of a concept called diminishing returns, and because this light cone is the only way you can get this buff at the moment, it's like true damage but for break. I do think Constance is going to have this in her base kit, which would already make her really strong, and she'll likely provide weakness break efficiency similarly to how Ruan Mei does. But I expect Constance to have a much more powerful effect, as she's actually a dedicated break support unlike Ruan Mei, who is balanced around working in many different teams and scenarios. Honestly, even if Constance gave 75% weakness break efficiency instead of the 50 that Ruan Mei gives, she would not only increase the team's damage by 25% straight up, but also help break the enemy's weakness bar faster, which has been a problem for break teams ever since they started inflating the toughness bars of enemies in Amphireus. Speaking about break teams struggling to actually break enemies, I've heard a rumor that Constance may reduce the max toughness of enemies on the field, but this is just speculation for now, so don't take it too seriously. If it does end up being true though, then this would immediately fix a lot of break teams' problems at the moment. I won't lie, as someone who really loves the break playstyle, especially with Firefly, even I would say that break is in a really bad state right now, and all of the 3 break units are somewhat struggling in the endgame modes, and I'm just praying that Constance is somewhat like Hyacinth's, where she has a good enough kit to bring her entire playstyle back into the meta. Anyways, with that, we're done taking a look at all the info we have right now on Constance, her kit, and how she might bring the break playstyle back into the current meta. Overall, assuming that another Cyrene incident doesn't happen, Constance is looking to be a huge boost for break teams. Based on what a reliable source said, Firefly with Constance would actually be somewhat competitive with Finon's Clear Speed and Anomaly Arbitration, and that just sounds insane to me, even if it's just early theory crafting. Firefly is literally a unit who somewhat struggles to clear MOC these days, and if Constance really makes her usable and even clear the hardest content in the game, well, that just tells me that she should be a great character not just for Firefly, but break teams as a whole, because it's quite hard to just specifically buff Firefly while not buffing the other break units unless she literally has a line in her kit which says that this character only works with Firefly and nobody else. Wait, have I seen that somewhere before? Surely that won't happen, right? I did say this was going to be a shorter video, so this is all I have for today, and later updates to her kit will come in the next couple of weeks, but until then, this is all we know about her. Also, I didn't mention it before as it gets annoying, but if you liked the video, then do consider subscribing. With that being said, I love y'all and I will see you in another one.